Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Ignore the bedhead. As you can see, I just barely woke up, but we are in a beautiful location here today. No Utah. We are out here in Costa Rica. But last night, I was thinking about something that I wanted to talk to all of you about. There are two ways that you can become happy, and there are only two ways that you can become happy. First is being content and proud of where you are currently at, and second is developing into the person that you want to become. That version of yourself that you set out in stone, that if you become them, you will be happy. Now, before we dive into this, those of you who don't know me, my name's Carson. I'm basically just trying to spread as much knowledge as I possibly can to help people like you become happy and the best version of themselves. So, the two ways to become happy, like we talked about. I've heard many different people talk about these two kind of points, but never touch on them exactly. It's kind of different things that you can do that lead you to that point. But after sitting down and really thinking on it, these are the two root causes behind what makes someone happy. There's everything at a surface level above those, like achieving your goals, doing this, or this. But at the root cause, after diving deeper into each of these things, those two are what really will make you happy. If you achieve those things, then you will become happy. Now, being content with yourself, that one is very clear and simple, but becoming that best version of yourself, that line is a little bit more blurred. So, in order to achieve happiness from that vehicle, it's important that you know what that version of yourself looks like, a clear, obtainable metric. That way, you can actually achieve that. So, these 2 points, oftentimes for people, are separate beings. They think, okay, well, I like the idea of being content with where I'm at right now because I feel like that's who I am, that's me at a root, that's who I want to be. Well, that's great, but oftentimes that leaves you stagnant and it will cause you to not see any growth in your day to day life. You are just being just fine with where you're at now and not looking for anything else, and you have to be okay with that. And then on the other hand, there is trying to achieve that best version of yourself, and that being your course of happiness. Well, when you do that, then all of that time leading up to becoming the best version of yourself, you are unhappy. And a lot of people, they get caught in this rat race of, okay, well, this is the person I want to be, but as you start getting closer and closer to becoming that person, that goalpost of who you want to be pushes out even further, which leaves you in this weird dead space of pushing towards achieving that best version of yourself, but never actually achieving it, which means that happiness, that fulfillment, that enlightenment never truly comes. So both sides have their pros and cons to them, but which one should you choose? In my opinion, and where I think a lot of what people talk about online in the self-improvement space, what they teach, what their courses portray, is chasing this best version of yourself or being content with where you're truly at. Where I think it doesn't have to be so harsh on one of these two sides. I think the sweet spot is dead in the middle, where you are content, you're happy with where you're at now, yet you're still looking for that growth. You're still looking to become that best version of yourself. Now, this is much easier said than done, obviously. That's why I mean, I spent years creating a product that helps people do just this. But what can you do today? What are some practical steps that you can take to really start feeling that happiness? And happiness, it's a very broad term. By happiness, we're just meaning like feeling good about your life and your situation. But to achieve this happiness now, yet also still push for that growth. First thing is you just want to get offline. When you're online, you see all of these different people living all of these different lives, showing their highlight reel of life. You might think, oh, they're smarter than me or they're stronger than me. You are comparing yourself and your situation to them. Everyone falls victim to it. If you're online, you do it, and I can guarantee you that. Literally, earlier today I was online and I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. He's really smart. How's he do this? You cannot compare yourself to other people. So, number one, to become happy now, get offline. Number two, you want to have a clear game plan, a clear goalpost for where you want to go. If you do not know what that best version of yourself actually looks like, you are going to be like a chicken with its head cut off, trying all of these different things with no rhyme or reason, which likely is not going to get you to this end goal of becoming that best version of yourself. Number three, it's important that you take constant action daily and reward yourself for the action that you take. There's a saying that I absolutely love. It's literally my Instagram bio, but it says, become 1% better every day. You don't have to make these big drastic measures day in and day out. All you have to do is get a little bit better every day. Personally, my favorite way to do this is by building some sort of routine. These routines and the tasks inside of this routine is formulated to get me closer to that best version of myself. Things that I know work for me and are going to get me closer to there. So these tasks, they do require some scientific reasoning, like you need to figure out what's going to work for you and what's not going to work for you. But doing these tasks every day that aren't going to help me see results overnight, but going to get me there eventually. Some examples of this: working out, stretching, whatever it may be, to get you closer to that best version of yourself, getting some sort of education, connecting with others. Once you have these daily tasks and they become a habit and you are doing them every day, you are well on your way to becoming that best version of yourself. So, to put it simply, develop habits that are going to get you closer to that best version of yourself, that you know, if I continue doing these over the course of the next 5, 10 years, see how long that timeline is? You need to extend out your timeline, but this is very, very broad. But over the course of the next 5 to 10 years, if I keep doing these, I will get to the best version of myself. Then you need to detach from becoming that best version of yourself. Stop using that as a driving factor, because you're already doing the tasks needed to get there. So you detach from becoming that best version of yourself, and now just focus on what you are doing daily. Focus on becoming content with where you're at now, because now it doesn't matter if your full focus is becoming that best version of yourself, because you're happy with where you're at now, yet you are still working towards becoming that best version of yourself. Now, this topic, honestly, it took me years to think about this simple framework that we have here, and I can't break down the entire framework in this short, I don't know, what is it, a 7-minute video? But this overall premise of working every day towards relentlessly becoming that best version of yourself, yet being content and happy with where you're at now, has been life-changing, and I can guarantee you that it will be the same for you. So, for those of you who kind of just feel lost in life, who don't really feel like you have much purpose, there's a community and kind of program I have around all of this that we just talked about. It's the first link in the description. Feel free to check it out if you want. If you want to become a little bit better every day, become that best version of yourself, be happy with where you're at. There's so many amazing people inside of there who are already seeing great change, but I think that you see a lot of value on it, so don't miss out on it. It's down in the description, and I'd love to potentially see you inside. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, kind of just something I thought of while I was like in and out of sleep last night, I wanted to talk about here. So if you want me to dive into more details on this, let me know, or the comments are always open with any questions. That said, ladies and gents, I'll see you in the next video. I'm getting eaten by freaking bugs out here, so I'm gonna go inside. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.